Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with an update for you. I'll make it real quick because it's pretty late on Friday evening. Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP to the end of the week. For Bitcoin, I was noticing this little flag pattern. Let's just expand that out. And it did break below the flag pattern, back test of resistance. And now I expect we might see a little bit of a movement down and away. But in order for confidence in that view, we really do need to see support at 41,100 broken with a close below this point. And if that happens, there's pretty strong support at 38,500. Get some free giveaways today to help you with your technical analysis. Click on the link below to go to my website and you can download one or more of these 3 giveaways. I have an ebook on technical analysis basics for you. These are the contents of the ebook, several chapters on some basics, some indicators, some techniques, looking at gaps, looking at scale for your charts, and I've even got 2 steps to a high probability trade setup there for you. Another free giveaway is this easy candlestick pattern guide to the major candlestick reversal patterns, bullish and bearish, diagrams, descriptions of how they should be read and in what context. And a third giveaway, I have this Elliott Wave structure guide, 3 pages giving you all of the Elliott Wave structures with all of the rules you need to know and diagrams of the ideal form for each. Motive structures on 1 page and all of the corrective structures on 2 pages. So click on the link below and get any one or all of these 3 giveaways for free. Interestingly, someone made a couple of people actually have made a comment recently. I state that there's a technical principle that the more often support and resistance is tested and holds, the stronger it becomes. I didn't just make that one up. If you go and look at Investopedia, you'll find that that's a statement they make there. And I have found it in some textbooks. I haven't found at the moment which textbook I remember that from, but I have found it. So I was trolling through Edwards and McGee Technical Analysis of Stock Trends, and I found this statement. If, however, a technical resistance zone has once been attacked, if prices have come back up to hit it and then retreated, some of its power has been removed. Some of the overhanging supply has been used up in repelling the first attack. So the next advance, therefore, will have less stock to absorb at that level. Here again, volume can be useful, but there's a theory here that 3 attacks and then the resistance or support is weakened and then it can be broken through, and that was a comment someone made the other day on this YouTube channel. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to be a little bit neutral about this concept of support and resistance and strength with how many tests it's had, do a little bit more reading, try and draw some firmer conclusions, and I'll come back to you on that. I was just looking at that excerpt for you from this absolute classic. I highly recommend it, one of my favourite technical analysis textbooks, and I like the way McGee writes. I wouldn't really call it a page turner unless you're very boring like me, but I find it quite interesting. So I recommend this if you want to learn a little bit more about technical analysis. This support at 41,100 has again been tested and again held. Depending on what camp you're in, you could say that it's now even further strengthened or it's been weakened. Either way, the reality is so far it's holding. If this breaks, look out for next support at 38,500, and I expect that's going to be fairly strong. The target from the flag I think is far too low, 34,530. The last downward session has a little bit of a push from volume, but not nearly as strong as it's been recently, so volume is weaker as price falls slightly towards support. ADX for Bitcoin is now indicating a downward trend at this time frame for the short term. RSI is not oversold, and nor is money flow. There's a long way to go before this short-term downward trend may be exhausted. But for the bigger picture, I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. The Elliott Wave count for Ethereum, I am tentatively going to label this pullback over today because for the candlestick of the 19th of January, we have a strong hammer and it's occurring at the end of this pullback. So this is a bullish reversal pattern telling us that the zigzag may be over. C did move below the end of A exactly as I said it needed to, so we got that new low below 2455.87. What I'm going to be using for the short term for Ethereum is this channel. Draw this channel from the start of A to the end of B, place a copy on the end of A. I want to see my conservative definition of a channel breach, a full green daily candlestick above and not touching this trend line, in order to have confidence that the second wave is over and a third wave up is then underway. This analysis remains very bullish. It expects a third wave at minute, minor, intermediate, primary and cycle degree. And in my last video, I went through my Elliott Wave count at all time frames with all of the data for Ethereum from its inception and gave you a really thorough rundown. So if you want to have a look at that, go and look at yesterday's video, same title, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I do this Monday to Friday for you. XRP support holding at 24,500. Expect it's likely to hold unless it gives way, and if it gives way, next support 2,100, but a hammer candlestick occurring at important support at 2,400. This looks like a test of resistance, breakaway, back test of support. Now expect it's most likely to see price move up and away. Next resistance 3,580. Overall volume was light and flat. Previous volume was strongly pushing price higher. The volume profile for Ethereum is bullish. On balance volume is within a narrow range. A break above resistance or below support would give a weak signal either way. ADX is declining. There's no clear trend. The previous upward trend reached very extreme, but that's been relieved for ADX now, and ADX is pretty close to 15. Could be setting itself up again for another signal. Previously it gave a strong bullish signal here, but now the black ADX line is declining. The positive DX line remains above the negative. No potential trend change has been indicated. RSI is neutral, as is money flow. If a trend does develop again, there's a long way to go before it gets extreme. Elliott Wave count for XRP, I am also going to label this pullback likely over with a very strong bullish long lower wick for the 19th of January. I am labeling this minuet wave 2 an expanded flat, A, B, C, C with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little fourth wave in here. I am expecting this is most likely now moving into a third wave up at minute degree. Real quick technicals for XRP, also a hammer candlestick pattern. I'm going to get rid of that notation for support at 55 cents. It's not held, so look out for support now at 54 cents. It was a bit of a zone, 54, 55 cents, so let's use the lower edge of that zone now and look for support at 54 cents to most likely hold. Downward movement has pushed from volume for XRP. Again, of all of the three, this is the most concerning. It's a little bit more bearish than the other two, not quite as clearly bullish for XRP. Some reasonable bullishness there for the long term, but for the short term, slight causes for concern for XRP. The last signal from on-balance volume for XRP was bearish. That may well now be resolved, and that the follow-through could be now complete. There was a downward breakout, and on-balance volume has moved lower, as has price, so that bearish signal could have had its follow-through now. ADX is again telling us there's an downward trend for XRP and there's a long way to go before it gets extreme. RSI is neutral, it's not oversold. Money flow is not oversold. A long way to go before this downward trend reaches extreme. The higher time frame though for XRP is overall more bullish than bearish, but ADX at the weekly time frame is declining, but the positive DX line is still above the negative. Previously ADX indicated an upward trend. It hasn't indicated a downward trend for a long time. It did way back here in August 2022, and it hasn't done it since at the weekly time frame. So it's not going to take too much to turn the black ADX line at the weekly time frame up and again indicate an upward trend. That's it from me with a quick update for you this week. I hope everyone's looking forward to an awesome weekend.